What I'm going to do is go through an example. If you look at the funding calculation to kind of show you how all of this fits together, our funding is derived from enrollment. Well, enrollment is the number of kids we have. Enrollment, if you look at the pure number of kids based upon what the state formula says, we would have 7,416 kids. You would multiply that by $5,565, which is the state basic amount that the state says we're going to give you. Well, that amount's derived by the state budget. We get some add-on funding for special education. We get some add-on funding for transportation, for gifted, for poverty-based assistance to deal with specific challenges that would be with individuals in the school district as far as students. And then we actually get some taken away from adjustments. Primarily what adjustments are is charter schools.
Don't you have some titles that you get money from?
Yes. That's not included in the state formula, which we're looking through the state part. That would be federal revenue. And that was reflected in the total revenue that we talked about previously. So if you follow that whole formula, what it looks like is multiply this out, enrollment times basic aid plus the add-on plus the adjustments, you would think you would expect $45,314,541,000 if you follow that. Well, guess what? We don't get that. Why? Because the way the formula works is not really on enrollment, it's on what's called ADM. ADM is average daily membership. That's the number of kids who are in the seats on 2 weeks of a year. First full week of October, first full week of February. That's the only times that we get through there. So what happens is we actually don't get the total amount based upon, and all this is right off of the Ohio Department of Education's website. You can see it, follow it right through the SF3. We're actually $6,788.35 is what's projected for the 2008 school year. So if you do that, multiply it through, you'd expect $41,766,018 through that. Well, guess what? We don't get that either. Why? Because the funding formula assumes that every local school district is going to raise 23 mils of local property tax. So they cut this basic aid amount, and we went through this last year, down to $2,245 is actually what they're going to pay us through the state funding formula. So if you multiply that out, yay, this is what we get. We get $18,027,833 for all the students that we receive. That's based upon the SF3.